Hello strangers. Obviously it's not you guys, it's me. I have put on a crop. Will actually be a wardrobe storage. I think I am going to keep them. I get them in a size. I'm going to take that much off. Just done a Marks and Spencer's food. So I'm going to try and get some of it done today. Annoying things about IVF is I just want to lose weight and go on lots of holidays. Let's just forget everything. Make up look that still looks like your skin, but it's really glowy. It's being called stupid and lazy because so much has gone on, happened over the last few months. And to be honest, I have filmed some bits here and there, but my head's not been quite in it to edit it and put it all together. And the software that I use to edit has decided to do an upgrade, and for some reason I can't access some of the vlogs I've already edited. And I've tried a few times faffing around trying to sort it out, and then just weeks and months kept going past, and I thought, let's just start again. And then if I can get that stuff back, I'll upload it if anyone wants to see it. I have our holiday, Ibiza and south of Spain, and various IVF stuff. Apologies, I look how I feel. Tired, old, bloated, inflammation, my hair needs washing. But I thought if I don't just do this now, I'm never going to do it. And also, to be honest, I have started a medication which makes me really poorly. But this time round, it has been bad, but not dreadful. And I have, on day 3 of starting the medication, been able to get out of bed. Whereas last time, I think I was in bed for a week and I couldn't eat or any. It was just horrendous. So this time round, I'm better. So I thought, again, another excuse. I wouldn't normally be up, so let's just make the most of it. If anyone has any questions of what's been going on over the last few months, please comment below. It will help me either include it in the next vlog, or it will shove a rocket up my arse to get the vlogs that I've already filmed finished and upload them. And if anyone still wants to see our holiday, then let me know. It is coming into holiday season again, so maybe it'll give you some inspiration somewhere. So let's just go on. Just looking at my hair actually. It has grown so much and the condition is so much better. I did have to cut this bit around the front just a little bit shorter because it was very dry and felt very weak. Now I feel like there's a little bit of a disconnect. So I don't know whether to just take a bit off the bottom just to join that back up again. I feel like it doesn't look as bad, but I keep playing with it. I feel like it feels bad. So you may see this in this, me trimming it in this vlog, I'm not sure. Today's outfit quickly. I am really bloated, so I have put on a cropped boxed white t-shirt, which you're probably thinking you're crazy if you said you feel bloated, but I just find sometimes a slightly cropped top can just make you look like you've got a waist again when you feel like you haven't currently. And then I've tied a shirt round my jeans again to hide the bloat, but also I just feel like it just cinches you in a little bit. My Marks and Spencer's barrel leg jeans, I have these now in every colour, and one pair I have in 2 lengths, but they are super comfy. And then just some little are they called car shoes? Car slippers? And then I've just been to Marks and Spencer's and picked up the light pair of these same jeans. The ones I've got on are a short. These are a regular, so I like to turn these up if I get them in a regular. I did actually originally go to get another pair of short pair because I just found the short pair a little bit smarter, so they're nice with heels when you're going out. But to be fair, don't go out that often. And these turned up are probably going to get more use. You never know, I might go back and get the short, but they didn't have them in stock, so I got these ones. I'll quickly show you what they look like on. Show them before I turn them up. They're just not quite the right length. They're just a little bit too short. But then this is what they look like turned up. So they'll be great with trainers, sandals and flip-flops for the summer. And then if I do find I'm going out more, I'll get the short version, because I like the short version with heels and like a blazer or an oversized shirt. That's them. So I think I am going to keep them. And I get them in a size 10. And I would say they're definitely true to size. And hopefully once this is all over, there'll be a little bit more room in them. I keep playing around with it, so I'm not going to be happy until it's done. So I'm going to take a little bit off and see how I get on, and then maybe go even more. It's the thing, isn't it? Once you start getting long hair, you don't ever want to cut it. But so for me, I always slightly look down, and then I like to have my hair at a slight angle. So I'm going to take that much off. Probably more than I planned, but I think it's going to look better. And then this side, I will roughly do it the same and then bring some hair around just to see if it... And then I'll just check them. That's not far off, is it? And then I'll just swoop some round and see how far away we are there. And then the same the other side. And quickly grab a mirror to see. The middle section looked a little bit longer. You see that bit there? That's the bit I could see in the mirror. Better. This front side probably does seem a little bit longer, which doesn't surprise me. I tend to do it all the time, this side being a little bit longer. I also think this side grows quicker. So it might be that little corner bit there is probably what's making it. So again, just down. No, I think I'm going to take that edge off as well. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there, and then tomorrow or next couple of days I'm going to wash my hair. So I'm just going to see just a little bit longer. Right, that's enough. Done. I have just done a Marks and Spencer's food shop. Picked up a couple of bits that we use all the time. So I've moved on to the M&S only range. It's a range with not many ingredients or additives. I usually buy the frozen burgers, but the freezer was bare, so I've just bought the fresh ones. And then also their sausages, only 6 ingredients, really big fan. I bought a big roast chicken to either do a roast dinner with, or also chicken salad and naan bread. Also from the only range, we've moved on to their mayonnaise, and as you can see, we are enjoying that. So I need to actually buy some more. I've actually got some today. I haven't tried the ketchup yet because we've still got loads of ketchup in the fridge, but that is next to try. The bran flakes are really good. I have them with yogurt, Greek yogurt and berries. I normally use olive oil, and I still will for salads and things. It's not the best for getting things crispy or frying, so apparently avocado oil is a bit better, so I'm going to try that. More of the baked beans we like, more of the only 6 ingredients bread. There are not many things that come up excellent on the Yuka app, especially for bread. So this one and their wraps do, so you feel like you're not being as naughty. Their prawn cocktail is really good. The prawns are huge. I love these to nibble on once they are fried. Just mixed veg. Some lettuce I'll have with salad, or I might have lettuce burgers. I've got some huge dates to do peanut butter and dark chocolate. Little treat things to put in the fridge. I think these are new and they brought out, I think, a peanut butter version and a coconut version. So I thought I'd give these a whirl. And then just a couple of packets of crisps, olive oil and the avocado oil crisps. And I think that is everything. It is Jimmy's birthday this week, so I bought him some trainers. I actually saw a very similar pair in the ladies section, which I really like for myself, so I probably will get them. Don't know if they've got like a green Reebok logo. I was hoping to treat him sort of like a weekend away. As we are starting treatment again, it's not possible. It's actually the first time Jimmy's not been here for his birthday, which is a little sad. So I bought this mirror for the ensuite temporarily, just so we had something up. And today's the day that I'm gonna try and change it. So we're looking for 2 mirrors on the wall. Majority of this is plasterboard. So ideally we need to find part of the stud work. So I'm currently going through my old photos to see if I can work where that is. If you plan to use a TV bracket, I suggest using it upside down, so this is at the bottom. Because the mirror is quite heavy, or the cabinet that I've chosen, it can slightly tilt forward, but because you've got this, if you push that across, you can make the cabinet tilt that way, which makes it look like it's not tilting forward. And then if you're going to put it on the side of the wall, just make sure there's enough distance between where you want to put it and the back of either the wall or the window, so you can make sure that the mirror can be tucked in as much as possible. Otherwise the mirror will stick out quite a lot from the wall if you don't leave enough gap. And then you can move it around. Good morning. It is such a lovely day. It is meant to be nice all week, I think, so I think I'm going to get the garden cushions out and then I can keep them out all week. Blue skies. I am desperate to paint these walls and get some greenery in them, but we still need to tile the floor and we need some steps making, and Jimmy wants to do that before we paint the wall, but I just want to paint the wall now. And then this whole area needs leveling out and tiling. So we got a new shed. I want to paint these black as well. I don't like grey. To put all our cushions in so they're not far away. So I'm going to do that now, I think. Quite nice. You give me time for it? iced Americano. Double espresso. Before you start destroying everything. So, the plan is to make the old ensuite bigger. So we're probably going to put a new wall about here. And then I'll insert a picture. So I think I'm going to make them look like wardrobes. And then the two doors in the middle will open into the ensuite. And then this area here will actually be a wardrobe storage. Because it's going to be our guest room, we don't really need a big wardrobe space. And then I plan to put the bed here, which we've already got the bed. It's currently in the other spare room. So if I spin you round. So this will be the view from the bed. And then in this corner, I'm probably going to add, I'll insert a picture, sort of like a little bunket seat with some cushions just to soften that corner up a little bit. And then I'll probably put something freestanding here. Again, if this wasn't our guest room and we sold this house, then that would probably be the area where you would put wardrobes if you needed to. So you can sort of see part of this was in the landing, so we've added that into this room, which is nice because then the door opens and doesn't open into the room, whereas before the wall was here to this bedroom and then the door opened out here. So it took up quite a lot of space of the bedroom. Now we've got that little corner bit, it just adds a little bit more room in here. And then the ensuite was tiny, so it's going to be nice that it's going to be a little bit bigger. And the plan is to have the toilet here, and then the sink unit here with a nice big mirror, and then the shower on this side. So the shower is probably going to be about double the size that it was before, which was my main reason for doing it. It was like having a shower in a cubby hole before. And the plan is probably to do a shower wall again, like we've got in the main bathroom. I just find them easier to, well, not having glass, it's just easier to keep clean. So that is the plan for in here. I would really have liked to have put some like sort of like chairs by the window. That is all clean clothes that I need to sort out, and some of it is to go on Vinted. It's been like this for months. So I'm going to try and get some of it done today. And then by the weekend, get some stuff on Vinted, because I keep saying that I'm going to do it and then I just don't. These are my hair dyeing towels. Tell me you have dogs without telling me you have dogs. Right, so I think I'm going to do, a bit high. I've got things that I like to hang, things to put in the drawer, and Vinted. You don't want to watch me do this, so see you in a mo. Believe it or not, that is now organised mess. Trousers that need hanging, smarter clothes that need hanging, casual wear that I hang, PJs. I'm going to take them up category at a time. One of the most annoying things about IVF is everything is on you. It's like the doctor will guide you, suggest stuff, but you have to make all the decisions. I've spent most of the day today and yesterday on and off phone to the clinic or the pharmacy, trying to get certain medication that's out of stock delivered. Some of it has to be under a certain temperature, so it either has to come in a refrigerated van or you have to pay extra for cool bags, for freezer bags for it to be sent. Medication that I'm starting, I should have already started by now, so the doctor's like, oh well, we could do the IVF, take it now when it comes, and then we can do the IVF in June, and don't take the bromocriptine. I've been taking that now for a few days, which really doesn't make me feel very well. It also meant that it's put our next couple of weeks' plans on hold. We couldn't plan anything. Being Jimmy's birthday as well, that really frustrated me because I wanted to go away and I didn't know how ill I was going to feel. Going for dinner, seeing friends, etc. So when they just say, oh, you could start in June instead. I've already been doing prep. I've already been on horrible medication. Sorry, I'm having a right. It just, things like this, when your head's already a bit of a mess, is when I just like, what I'm doing, why am I doing this? I've definitely woke up in the mood today of, I just want to lose weight and go on lots of holidays. Let's just forget everything. This is when Jimmy's really good because he's now stepped in and he's dealing with all the emails, and because I'm just at a point where I can't think straight. It's like all the supplements as well, and because everything, there's no actual real fully based trials on anything. It's always, there's a small study on this that may improve things, there's a small study on that, and the amount of stuff that I am taking, normally I have no idea what I'm doing with my hair. I haven't decided, I'm just talking. Like supplements, I think I'm on and off, because when I've been poorly I've not been able to take everything. I think a total of at least 10 different just supplements and vitamins. Some of them you have to take 2 or 3 times a day. Some of them don't make you feel great. And then on top of that, I'm on metamorphin, which is something actually I think I want to stay on long term, because I really do think it's helped my endometriosis symptoms, and I've got an ovarian cyst and I've not had cyst pain since starting it 8 months ago, which is such a big win for me, because having endometriosis and endometriosis pain is terrible, but cyst pain, that's another level. I want to call for the ambulance. I know they're not going to be able to do anything, but the thought of someone coming in and anywhere near me, I'm in that much pain, I'd rather just lie there in pain. And then the bromocriptine thing, which obviously I've spoken about before, just makes me feel so terrible because it drops your blood pressure and activates that sickness reflex. That's why you feel sick. And then it tends to make my eyesight not great, so really blurry, which I think doesn't help with the sickness. And then it can upset your stomach, which again adds to the sickness. So you basically feel like you have a hangover all the time. The first couple of months, the first couple of weeks, it felt like I had alcohol poisoning. If you've ever had that, where you literally can't turn your head without thinking you're going to be sick or pass out. Sorry, but no one wants to hear all this moaning. And then that's before we get onto the stems and the growth medication and then the stuff and the injections to stop you ovulating while trying to grow your follicles. Oh, it is too much. So I'm definitely in that mood today where I'm like, I'm done with this. I want to enjoy my life. I'm fed up of looking at myself being overweight. It's probably partly why I haven't come on here either, because my face is so puffy. I'm pale. I just think that this has been going on now for us, probably fertility and testing and operations. Oh, I don't know, nearly a decade. And then IVF, although we've not done it, I think we had 1 year off. It's probably taken 5 years of our life, maybe. And although you're not doing IVF solidly, you're either prepping for it, recovering from it, or at a stage where you don't know whether you're doing it again, so you can't book holidays and all that kind of stuff because you don't know what you're going to be doing next year, pregnant and all the stuff that comes with that. And I've heard people talk about it before, that even if you do get pregnant or have a baby after all this, it doesn't take away the trauma that you've been through. Also, unfortunately, makes even just seeing a pregnancy test probably not as joyful as it would if you got there naturally, just because that even seeing a positive pregnancy test, which I have now seen twice, doesn't mean what you think it's going to mean. Sorry for this moan, but I think it's a good side to see, because I think that I really do try and balance my social media out to not all show the good, but to show a bit of the bad. And that's not for me for doing it for sympathy. I don't think people realise, they see you come on social media and you're smiling or happy, and some of that is because it's brand related as well. I can't come on being miserable all the time. I also don't want to come on being miserable all the time. That's not me as a person. But this part of my life takes up so much of my brain and energy that just any little bit of downtime that I have, it's often recovering from something, whether it's the IVF or, like I say, my endometriosis, which I've got to say symptoms-wise has been loads better, but it's not just before your period and on your period. Ovulation is a really bad time for me. It's just a constant. And then next, menopause. So yes, when people ask, how do you keep going? Today is one of those days where I'm ready to give up and live my life. And I think Jimmy doesn't like to admit it, but I do think it's something that he does want. And when I'm like this, he's the one that's driving it. And partly what gets me through this, anybody that will know us personally just know how much Jimmy would be a really good dad. Just the type of person he is. So sometimes I'm doing all this because I just want it for him so much. And I'm past the stage now of questioning whether I'll be any good as a mum or not. I really don't know. I've had stages where I do think, and that's why I want to do what we're doing. And then there's other days I just think maybe I wouldn't, and that's why it's not happening. I have no idea what I'm doing with my hair. I'm just rambling and straightening. I don't even know if this will go on the vlog. I have no idea what I've done to my hair. I got halfway through whether I was doing like a blowout look or a wave. Both. I find, to be fair, it always looks better after, or even the next day. My hair always looks better the next day. Right, I'm going to put a bit of makeup on, I think, today. I have been using this and I love it. So SPF, and it's for the people like that, a makeup look that still looks like your skin, but it's really glowy. So sometimes if I feel like my skin is already glowy, I will put a matte setting spray on afterwards, because usually I would use a glowing setting spray. So depending what my skin's doing on the day. My face is really pale at the minute, so I'm also going to use this Self Glow, because I should have put a tanning mist on first, but I forgot. I tend to always use my fingers for makeup because I just feel like it looks a little bit more natural. But I probably could do with maybe a sponge to dab on afterwards, just to help it set a little bit more. Does anyone, when you use a dark brown dry shampoo, it always gets in your nails and makes fingernails look so dirty? I keep looking at them thinking, what's that in my nails? It's because I've touched my head after. Sorry, I'm distracted. What's so nice about here is you get to watch all the dog walkers with their dogs just really enjoying the field. And what's really annoying for us is, obviously I can't let Fred off lead because he's such an anxious dog, and he wouldn't be nice to another dog if they approached him because he's scared. But we actually own, well, there's a few of us that own all the fields opposite the house. It's so frustrating, I can't even take my own dog on our field. I pay a farmer for another field that's got fencing. Crazy. And we have to drive there as well. We could just nip over to the field. But anyway, oh god, I'm moaning today. I've also got a bit of toothache, and part of me is worried that now I've got something wrong with my tooth. Well, actually, it's a few of them, but also the medication I'm taking can cause it as well. So I'm hoping it's that, and not I've now got another issue to sort out, because the thought of being prodded and poked at the moment, not what I want. I think my skin's quite dry today, so I'm going to use a glowing setting spray. This probably isn't the most flattering angle today, but I just can't be bothered. You're getting me in all my glory today. For an everyday concealer, I will use this one. I have got it in lots of shades. I probably should take more notice of what shades I buy, but I don't. As you can tell, I'm not your usual makeup girly. I never have been. I'm more of a probably hair girly, like friends and stuff will get me to do their hair. But in my former life, when I was 13 till I was 18, I was a hairdresser. And even at that age, I worked, well, while I was at school, I did, I think, 3 nights a week and a Saturday. And then I went into it full time. So I was actually doing hair on the shop floor before I'd even did my course, to be honest. I did most of my course, I probably didn't even finish it. I left because I found, obviously, the money is really not great. The hours, also not great. And I really got into the selling the products. We had a huge array of shampoos and styling products and brushes. And I found myself really interested in brands and selling. So we used to get commission if we sold any of the products. And then the hairdressing reps used to come in, and I was so intrigued about what they did. And they used to drive around in really nice cars. And I've always been a car girly since I was little. I've loved cars. So I was like, oh, I want to do that. So I asked them, and they said, you need to go and get sales experience, which is what I did. And worked for various people and brands. And then I went travelling for a year, which was the best thing I ever did. To be honest, majority of my time I spent in Sydney, which is my home from home. I planned to move there and live there, and I met Jimmy. But it's where I really found myself. Growing up with dyslexia back in my day wasn't really something that was recognised. And I just felt really out of place at school, being called stupid and lazy, because some days I could do the work and other days I was finding it really hard. And at the time I had a best friend who was so clever, so she was helping me majority of the time, whereas I was copying her stuff. So I really struggled, and it wasn't until after I came back from travelling and just had more confidence, I decided to go to uni, which lasted all of a few months because it was a new course. It was event management, and they were so disorganised. I thought, I can't cope with how disorganised everything was, and obviously not earning any money. But anyway, they actually tested me and said, you're severely dyslexic. And soon as I heard that, just everything clicked into place, and I've managed to learn how my brain works. And I'm not stupid after all, I'm just different. And there's things that I can actually do that other people find difficult, like problem solving. Sense of direction is really good, even in places that I've never been. I'm a real visual person as well. I can see how to put things together by looking at things. I think dyslexic people are quite entrepreneurial, quite creative. So there's lots of benefits now. And since being an adult, having, well, first Google saved my life, and now ChatGPT, I use it all the time for everything. If I had that back in my day, it makes me think of some of the stuff that I probably could have done. And then and then I got a job working for Corona, the beer, basically doing the job that I would have got after I'd finished uni. So I did that, and part of my job was going out a couple of nights a week around. I was living in Newcastle at the time, which one of the best cities. Going out, going around the bars, getting to know owners and managers in your mid-20s, which was just a fabulous lifestyle. And then I got promoted into their marketing department. I think I was the only person in the marketing department that didn't have a degree, which felt such an achievement for, again, just someone with dyslexia thinking that they just would never amount to anything or feel like they were never going to amount to anything. Did freelance for quite a few years. They kept trying to make me go permanent because obviously being a freelancer is more expensive for them. Working for my favourite brand, Jaguar Land Rover, again, a brand that I've liked since I was a little girl. So it was an absolute dream. And then I went into more like sort of launch program management, where all the different departments for marketing, like your websites, magazines, above the line advertising, brochures, did I say that? Retail, globally, there's a team of 5 of us that made sure each department was running as it should to hit each car launch. So we'd know about cars 4 or 5 years before they would come to market, and then we'd have to make sure that all the marketing material was ready. And not every country launched on the same day, the same time, or same spec, because there's different laws in different countries of what you can and have on a car and what you can't advertise. So it got quite complicated at times, but I enjoyed it. It meant that I got to live a London life. I was working for a huge agency in London, so I just loved that lifestyle. I got to live in the countryside here, but then got to work in the big city. Again, it just felt such an achievement. And the little girl in me would have been pretty proud. I just never thought I'd get to do anything like that. And looking back now, obviously, all the treatment that we've had and how much time it's taken, I would have never been able to do any of this in that job because it was just such long hours. I think I was commuting 25 hours a week, then plus my job. And the last 5 years, it's all been about IVF. So having Jimmy, having my store, I did put the content creation on hold for a while, so I was turning quite a lot of work down just because I couldn't fit it in, and I just knew I wasn't going to be very consistent, or because it's a lot of stuff that goes into content creation that people don't see. The amount of emails that we get, we have to work through it and work out whether we want to do it, whether it's a fake proposal, and then negotiations of how much, the outputs of how long they can use things for, the legal side of things. And then you do all the filming, editing, it has to get approved, you might have to refilm things, then it has to go through an approval process, then you have to do things before it goes live, you have to do things while it goes live, and then you have to chase up being paid for a few months. To be fair, so far, people that I've worked with have been really good. I've heard people have absolute nightmares. God, I am rambling today. I was not expecting you to tell you my life story. If anyone's got any questions on that, feel free, let me know. This is the rose benefit. I might try and get the dark cherry as well, just to give that bit more of a sun glow look. Right, that will do for now. Thank you for listening to me moan. I forgot to show you in here how satisfying this room now feels. If you are still with me, thank you so much for watching and listen to me moan. I'll try and make things more exciting going forward. If there's anything you want to know or see, comment below and let me know. Thank you. See you soon.